The text from our neighbor came while we were enjoying our last sunset in Hawaii. Hey, I saw someone moving furniture into your house. Is everything okay? My heart stopped as I showed the message to my husband James. My name is Amanda, and at 35, I never expected to find myself in the middle of a home invasion, especially not one orchestrated by my own mother-in-law, Patricia. We'd been saving for this vacation for 2 years, our first real break since buying our dream home. Now, thousands of miles away, we were watching our security camera footage in horror as Patricia directed movers to bring her furniture into our house. Maybe there's a misunderstanding, James said, always trying to see the best in his mother. But I knew better. Patricia had been dropping hints about helping us maintain such a big house for months, especially after her lease ended. We'd firmly told her no each time. She's not answering her phone, I said, trying to stay calm while watching more footage of her ordering movers to take our couch to the curb. Our couch, the first piece of furniture we'd bought together. James finally got through to his sister, Marie. Mom said you guys offered to let her move in while you were away, she explained. Said you felt bad about her lease ending and wanted to help. I felt my blood pressure rising. We never offered anything like that. James snapped, finally showing some anger. She's breaking into our house. We called the police, but Patricia had a key, one we'd given her for emergencies only, without proof of forced entry. This looks like a civil matter, the officer told us apologetically. You'll need to handle it through proper legal channels. The next 2 days of our vacation were ruined. We spent them watching helplessly through our security cameras as Patricia transformed our home. Our modern decor disappeared, replaced by her heavy antique furniture. Our family photos were taken down, her portraits going up instead. She even had the nerve to host a housewarming party, inviting the entire family to see her new home. When we finally pulled into our driveway, Patricia was waiting on our porch swing replaced by her wicker chairs. Welcome home, she called out cheerfully, as if this was all perfectly normal. I've made so many improvements while you were gone. This house finally feels like a proper home. I stepped inside and nearly collapsed. Our warm, contemporary space had been transformed into what looked like a Victorian museum. Heavy drapes blocked the natural light we loved. Doilies covered every surface. The scent of mothballs and lavender was overwhelming. Where are our things? I managed to ask, spotting boxes stacked in the corner. Oh, I donated most of it, Patricia said casually. It was all so young. This house needs a mature woman's touch. You'll thank me later, dear. James stood in the doorway, seemingly in shock. Mom, you can't just move in without permission. This is our house. Patricia laughed, actually laughed. Don't be silly, James. You and Amanda are hardly ever here, always working. This house needs someone who can give it proper attention. Besides, I'm your mother. Family helps family. I walked through each room, documenting everything with my phone. Our bedroom had been converted into what Patricia called her private suite. Our things were crammed into the guest room. Even our kitchen hadn't escaped. My carefully organized cooking space now cluttered with her collection of decorative plates and ceramic roosters. Where's the folder from my office desk? I asked, my voice deadly calm. The leather portfolio that contained all our important documents was missing from its usual spot. That old thing? It was taking up space in my new craft room. I put it somewhere. Patricia waved vaguely toward the garage. That was the moment something in me snapped, not just because she moved in without permission, not just because she donated our belongings, but because she touched my private documents. What she didn't know was that folder contained more than just papers. It contained our insurance policies, including one I'd taken out specifically because I didn't trust her. I turned to James, who was still standing there looking lost. Call your sister, I said firmly. Tell her to come get your mother. Now. But where will I go? Patricia protested. I gave up my apartment. I smiled, pulled out my phone, and made a call. Hello, yes. I'd like to report an unauthorized occupant and the theft of personal property. Yes, I have documentation. And I'd like to speak with a locksmith. Patricia's face went from smug to shocked in an instant. She hadn't expected this level of resistance. She was used to James giving in, to me keeping quiet for the sake of family peace. But she'd crossed a line, and now she was about to learn exactly what happened when you pushed me too far. You wouldn't dare, she whispered. I'm family. Family doesn't steal, I replied calmly. Family doesn't lie. And family certainly doesn't break in and donate other people's belongings. You have 1 hour to start packing, Patricia. After that, things get very, very legal. The look on her face told me she finally realized her mistake, but I was just getting started. The next few hours were chaos. Patricia alternated between tears, threats, and attempts to manipulate James. "I'm your mother," she wailed. "How can you let her treat me this way?" But for once, James stood firm. "You broke into our house, Mom," he said, his voice tired but determined. "You got rid of our belongings without permission. This isn't okay." Marie arrived looking furious, not at us, but at Patricia. "I can't believe you lied to me," she snapped. "You told me they'd offered to let you stay." While they argued, I methodically went through the house, documenting everything. The donations Patricia had made included our wedding photos, family heirlooms from my side, and even my grandmother's antique cookbook collection. Each discovery made my blood boil more. But I maintained my composure. I had a plan. The locksmith arrived first, followed by 2 police officers I called to supervise the situation. Patricia tried to play the victim, but the security footage I showed them told a different story. "Ma'am," one officer said firmly, "you need to leave the premises. Your son and daughter-in-law have revoked any permission you had to be here." "But my things are all moved in," Patricia protested. "You can't just throw me out." "Actually, we can," I replied calmly. "And you have 24 hours to remove your belongings before they're considered abandoned property." That's when Patricia made her biggest mistake. She turned to James, tears flowing, and said, "Choose right now, your mother or her." The room went silent. Marie gasped. The officers shifted uncomfortably. I held my breath, not because I doubted James, but because I knew how much this moment would hurt him. James straightened his shoulders and looked his mother in the eye. "You're the one forcing this choice, Mom. Not Amanda. You broke into our home. You threw away our things. You lied to everyone about having permission. If you're making me choose, I choose my wife. Every time." Patricia's face turned purple with rage. "After everything I've done for you. I raised you alone after your father died. I sacrificed everything. And I'm grateful," James replied. "But that doesn't give you the right to destroy our home." As Patricia was escorted out, still protesting, I made another call, this one to my insurance company. That folder Patricia had so carelessly misplaced. It contained documentation of every valuable item in our home, including photos and appraisals. I'd added special coverage months ago when Patricia first started making comments about helping with our house. "Yes," I told the agent, "I'd like to file a claim for theft and unauthorized disposal of personal property. I have complete documentation, including video evidence of the responsible party removing our belongings." Marie, overhearing my call, gave me a look of newfound respect. "You knew something like this might happen, didn't you?" I nodded. Patricia has a history of overstepping. I've learned to be prepared. The next day brought a parade of movers removing Patricia's furniture. She supervised from the sidewalk, alternating between glaring at me and making loud phone calls to family members about her heartless daughter-in-law, who was making her homeless. What she didn't know was that I'd already emailed the entire family with security footage of her moving in, photos of our discarded belongings, and proof of her lies to Marie about having permission. The sympathy she expected didn't materialize. As the last of her furniture was loaded up, Patricia made one final attempt. "I only wanted to help," she said, her voice wobbling. "This house was too big for just you two. I thought you'd appreciate having a mother's touch." I looked at her, really looked at her, and felt a mix of pity and frustration. A mother's touch doesn't include breaking and entering, Patricia. It doesn't include throwing away other people's treasured possessions. You didn't want to help. You wanted to take over. "Where am I supposed to go?" she demanded. "The same place you would have gone if you hadn't tried to steal our house," I replied. "You're an adult, Patricia. Figure it out." As her moving truck pulled away, I turned to James. He looked exhausted but relieved. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "I should have seen this coming." I squeezed his hand. "We both saw it coming. That's why I was prepared. But this isn't over yet." "What do you mean?" I pulled out my phone and showed him the insurance claim I'd filed. "Your mother didn't just steal our house for a week. She got rid of thousands of dollars worth of our belongings, and I intend to make sure she understands exactly what that means." James looked at the claim form, then at me, a slow smile spreading across his face. Have I told you lately how glad I am I married someone smarter than me? The house was empty now, stripped of both our belongings and Patricia's attempts to claim it. But as we stood in our bare living room, I felt stronger than ever. Patricia had tried to take our home, but she only succeeded in showing us exactly how strong we were together. And I wasn't done yet. Not by a long shot. The insurance claim hit Patricia like a thunderbolt. The adjuster's final report listed over $47,000 in missing or damaged property. When the insurance company's lawyer contacted her about repayment, her confident facade finally cracked. "This is ridiculous," she screamed over the phone. "I was doing you a favor. Those things were outdated anyway." Those outdated things included my grandmother's irreplaceable cookbook collection, I replied calmly, and the first edition books from James's father. You had no right to dispose of them. The insurance company was surprisingly efficient. Within weeks, they'd paid our claim and begun their own legal proceedings against Patricia. She tried to fight it, of course, but the evidence was overwhelming. Security footage, photographs, witness statements from the moving company, everything documented her actions perfectly. Then came the family fallout. Patricia had always been the center of family gatherings, the self-proclaimed matriarch who controlled every holiday and celebration. But now, family members started reaching out to us instead. "She did the same thing to me when Tommy was born," James's cousin Sarah confessed. "Moved into our house to help and rearrange everything. We were too scared to stop her." Marie organized a family meeting without Patricia, where similar stories emerged. Years of manipulation, boundary crossing, and controlling behavior, all excused because she means well or she's family. We weren't the first victims, just the first to stand up to her. 3 weeks after the incident, we received an unexpected delivery. A local thrift store had recognized our belongings from the police report and contacted us. Some of our things had never even made it to the sales floor. Among the recovered items was my leather portfolio. Patricia hadn't thrown it away after all, just donated it without opening it. "She didn't even look inside," James said, shaking his head as we reclaimed our documents. "She just got rid of it." The recovery of our belongings didn't stop the insurance claim, though. Patricia was legally responsible for the damage and missing items, and the company was determined to collect. When she realized she'd have to sell her precious antiques to pay the debt, she finally broke down. "I'll apologize," she sobbed during an unexpected visit to Marie's house where she'd been staying. "I'll do anything, just call off the insurance company." I looked at James. This was his decision to make. He took a deep breath and faced his mother. "You know what hurts the most, Mom? Not the stuff you threw away, not even the breaking in. It's that you still don't understand what you did wrong. You're not sorry for hurting us. You're sorry you got caught." Patricia deflated, aging years in moments. I just wanted to be needed." "We did need you, Mom," James said softly. "We needed you to be our mother, not our invader. We needed you to respect our boundaries, our home, our marriage. Instead, you tried to take over our lives." I stepped forward. "We'll make you a deal, Patricia. The insurance company wants their money and they'll get it. But how they get it is up to you. You can sell your things and pay them directly, or they can pursue legal action. Your choice." "And then what?" she asked, looking smaller than I'd ever seen her. "Then we start over. With boundaries. With respect. With you understanding that being family doesn't mean you get to control us." Patricia agreed, though I suspect it was more about avoiding legal action than genuine remorse. She sold most of her antiques. Ironically, the very furniture she tried to force into our home to pay the insurance company. The following months brought significant changes. We renovated our house, creating a fresh start with new furniture and decor that we chose together. More importantly, we set firm boundaries with Patricia. She wasn't allowed in our house without an invitation. No more surprise visits, no more helping without asking. At first, she struggled with the new rules. There were tears, guilt trips, and attempts to go around us by appealing to other family members. But gradually, something shifted. Maybe it was seeing how the rest of the family supported our boundaries. Maybe it was realizing she'd lost more than just her antiques. She'd lost her power over us. 6 months after the incident, we hosted our first family dinner in our renovated home. Patricia came as an invited guest, not an invader. She brought a dish to share, complimented our new decor, and most surprisingly, apologized. I was wrong, she said simply. I thought I was entitled to control your lives because I'm family. I'm learning that's not how it works. It wasn't a perfect ending. Real life rarely is. Patricia still sometimes forgets our boundaries, still occasionally makes comments about our choices. But now there's a difference. We don't let it slide. We stand firm together. As for our home, it's more than just a house now. It's a symbol of our strength as a couple, our ability to face challenges together, and our commitment to protecting what's ours. The security cameras are still up, the insurance is still in place, but they're precautions now, not necessities. And that leather portfolio, it sits in our new home office, a reminder that sometimes the best defense is being prepared for the worst while hoping for the best.